Previously on the LEC. Rogue came in struggling, dropping down to last place in the standings from the get-go. They were unable to pick up any wins in the first half of the split. The team brought in veteran support Vander and their top laner Finn to try and salvage the season. With them, Rogue were able to finally get on the board with 2 wins, but it was ultimately too late as they finished 10th with 2 wins and 16 losses. XL had a strong showing to start their season, but struggled to convert early leads into wins as they slowly slipped down the standings. Going into the second half of the split, the team brought in some talent from their regional league roster, which allowed them to play spoiler and take games off of the top teams to finish with a 5-13 record. The star-studded Misfits lineup started off strong, but a 6-game losing streak in the middle of the split would leave them out of playoff contention. The veteran lineup had consistency issues as they would take games from top teams and then drop matches to teams in the bottom 2. The team ended their split with a win, but it was too late to make a comeback as the team finished in 8th with an 8-10 record. Worlds 2018 participants Vitality had a strong start to their split as they quickly rocketed to a spot in the top 3. In the tail end of the season, Vitality dropped 4 of 6 games, falling down to 5th place at the end of the regular split. Origin had a tough start and found themselves sitting at 2-4 after 3 weeks. Their fortunes turned in week 5 as they were the first to take down G2 Esports, led by Nukeduck's Zed. They ended the regular season with 6 consecutive wins, locking them in 2nd place. Fnatic had an abysmal start to their season and were in 8th place after 4 weeks of play, only picking up 2 wins. Playoff hopes looked dim, but the World finalists turned their season around in the second half with an impressive 8-game winning streak, finishing the regular split in 3rd. With a fairly new roster, Splyce quickly showed to be a playoff contender, and their consistency paid off, cementing themselves in a playoff position and never falling beneath 5th place. In the last week of the split, a defeat to Fnatic saw them drop to 4th going into the playoffs. G2 Esports were undefeated in the first half of the season before a mediocre ending saw them drop 5 of their last 9 games. However, this was enough to secure them 1st place and gave them a bye to the second round of the playoffs. Schalke 04 quickly jumped to the top and looked like one of the strongest teams in spring. Things quickly turned sour for the German team though as they dropped several games, going 2-7 in the tail end of the split. SK Gaming started their season with a surprise win over Fnatic. The team stayed in contention of a playoff spot throughout the split, but suddenly found themselves in trouble when it came into the last week with a 7-9 record. SK went 2-0 in the final week of the split, forcing a tiebreaker with Schalke 04 for the last playoff spot. SK Gaming defeated Schalke to qualify for playoffs, and Schalke would finish right outside of a playoff berth, with 8 losses in their last 10 games. In playoffs, Splyce and Fnatic swept SK Gaming and Vitality with ease as they moved on to round 2. Fnatic would then beat Splyce to grab a spot in Rotterdam. Meanwhile, Origin and G2 Esports played for a spot in the LEC finals. After a thrilling Game 1, G2 took full control of the series and smashed Origin, booking a direct ticket to the finals. In Rotterdam, Origin had a second chance to make it to finals, but they would have to defeat a Fnatic roster who had only dropped 1 game in their last 12. However, this wasn't enough for the World finalists as Origin took the series 3-1. In the finals, G2 would face up against Origin once again and defeat them in record-breaking time, winning the first LEC title in under 75 minutes. They continued this record-breaking form at MSI, qualifying 3rd in groups before defeating Korean Titans SKT and North American rivals Team Liquid on their way to the title. Who do you think will find success in the summer split? Tune in to the LEC this Friday, June 7th.